Psukim tell us that if a person has a small spot on his body, that person can be deemed a Metzora and he can become Tameh. But if he is covered completely with the nega, that his whole body is covered, then actually that's considered to be a skin condition, and it's not considered to be tzaras. And the Chofetz Chaim says should be a kal v'chomer. If a small spot is able to make you into a metzora, then if your whole body is covered, kal v'chomer, then you should be considered to be tameh. You should be a metzora. You should be a metzora. Why is it that you're not a metzora when you're completely covered? This is a question that's raised by the Chofetz Chaim. I'd like to share with you an idea that I heard from my own Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbi Yochanan's wife Shlita, should live and be well. Beautiful idea. Rashi teaches us that, he brings down the Chazal, that saras comes from for the punishment, is a punishment for the Aveira of Lashon Hara. And Metzora is Motzira. Person has given forth evil speech. Now, as with all of Hashem's punishment, there is a concept of Midah Keneged Midah. The punishment reflects the sin involved. How is the sin of Lashon Hara reflected in saras? Furthermore, one of the characteristics of Lashon Hara is that the information actually has to be true. If it's not true, then it's slander. And the Chofetz Chaim has which Aveiras when it's true and what Aveiras when it's not true, but actually it doesn't fall under the category of actual Lashon Hara, and it's actually worse when it's true than when it's slander. And the question is, how could that be? When you say something that is not true about a person, you slander a person, should that not be worse than when you say something true? Why would the Torah actually want to suppress dissemination of truth? Today's you don't suppress truth, and actually it's worse when it's true. Lashon Hara is the Aveira of telling the truth about someone. Anyone familiar with today's media can bear witness to the fact that truth doesn't always reflect reality. When report Israeli abuse of Palestinians, they show a clip of Israeli soldier hitting a Palestinian, they have reported the truth. Unfortunately, since they chose not to show the entire incident, and they left out the first part of the footage, where you see the Palestinian throwing a rock and taking out someone's eye, they've actually distorted the reality of the event. That 15-second clip of TV footage may record an incident that happened, but because you only see the part of it, you walk away with a distorted sense of what happened because of what you saw and what was left out. The Baal Lashon Hara does the exact same thing. Baal Lashon Hara knows how to focus on negative traits or behaviors of an individual. Although these traits might only make up a small part of who that person is, the person is a confluence of many positive midos, many positive behaviors, the Baal Lashon Hara identifies specifically that one negative trait or behavior and defines the entire person by that one trait. So in anybody who has heard the Lashon Hara immediately associates that individual about who the negative information was given, he defines that person by that negative trait. That is what the Lashon Hara said. Midah Keneged Midah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives that person the tzaras. What tzaras is, there's one small spot on his body, and now that is sufficient to spiritually defile the entire person. Therefore, the crime of the Baal Lashon Hara is reflected in his punishment. He distorted the truth by creating false reality of a person, so too the small part of his body is affected, defines the entire body as being tameh. And that answers up the Chofetz Chaim's kasha as well. If the person has a spot on him, that reflects the Midah Keneged Midah. If he's completely covered, so then already, whatever that is, it's a skin disease, but that is not the punishment for Lashon Hara, because by Lashon Hara it has to be only one part, one spot that is matama the entire body, not the entire body being covered.